Yesterday I was listening to a message from Netanyahu, now this time for Iran. So already talk about Gaza and then about Lebanon and Syria. Now he's sending a message to Iran. And I'm saying this as a Muslim, as an Iranian American person. I don't have any connection with the Iranian government. I've been in this country for 33 years. I never received any penny from Iranian government in the last 30 years that I'm in this country. And I even don't know any of the wazara, I don't know any Iranian ministers. Yeah, and the last time that the president, who is a reformist, President Pezeshkian, was in New York for United Nations, I was invited as a member of Interfaith over there, and I paid for my own ticket and even for my own hotel. I didn't get any money even for that meeting. But when I hear that Netanyahu now is giving a lecture to Iranian, you have nothing else now? You are already busy with your court of facing the charges like fraud and bribery and breach of trust, and also under the arrest order of International Criminal Court. And in the middle of all of this thing, you save time to give a lecture to Iranian. That's very interesting. And he was saying that I want to help you Iranians to be free from this government. Oh, you want Iranian to be free. What about freedom for the Palestinians that they are 76 years under occupation? You want to bring peace in Iran after this system, but why you don't have this freedom and peace that you are talking to your next door, the Palestinians? If freedom is good for Iranian, why freedom is haram and is bad for Palestinians? You have 2 million people in Gaza, they are hostages. Yeah, there are some Israeli hostages in Gaza, almost 100. But you have over 2 million Palestinians in Gaza. They were in a big prison. And now you made Gaza a slaughterhouse. And then you turn it to a cemetery. And you don't free these people. You don't let the Palestinians to be free, and you don't let the Israelis to be free. So how you don't want to freedom for these people? Oh, but he said, oh, Iran paid $30 billion to the Syrian government, to Assad government, and $20 billion to Hezbollah in Lebanon. First of all, Netanyahu, I never trust your number. Where these figures are coming from, I don't trust anything that you said, and I absolutely doubt that that much money was ever paid. But what you don't think about over $300 billion that you got from United States in the last decades. I mean, only in this year, over $18 billion. You don't mention about this. Then you said, oh, Iranian people, your government, instead of spending this money for making more schools and more hospitals, wasted your money and gave it to others. You deserve this money. Well, Netanyahu, now you care about the schools and hospitals? How many schools and hospitals you destroyed in Gaza? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of schools and hospitals destroyed. You said, oh, Iranians, they want to conquer the area. But we, Israel, we are fighting for self-defense and for defending our civilization La'natullah ala al-kadhibin. You lie, Netanyahu. Are you saying that what you are doing is really self-defense and defending civilization? Are you saying genocide is civilization? You cannot deny there is genocide. Even Amnesty International last week, they confirmed, they concluded that what is going on in Gaza in the last 14 months is an act of genocide. The Pope said it was genocide. You don't believe in Amnesty International, you don't believe in Pope. What about Moshe Yalon, who was your war minister and worked in Israeli army for 30 years? This guy said it last week that what is going on in Gaza is ethnic cleansing. This is genocide. He said it. So this is not civilization that you are defending. If you had anything to do with civilization, why you call the Palestinian Amalek, calling them human animals? Human animals. And they said no food, no water, no fuel, no electricity, closing everything. Do you call this civilization? Is this a treatment of 2 million people, men, women, and children, killing or wounding thousands of doctors and nurses, first responders, teachers, hundreds of journalists, United Nations workers? You did all of these things. Do you call this self-defense and defending civilizations? You don't care about Iranian people or any people. You don't care about even Jews. You don't care about Christians. You care about Iranian all of a sudden and giving the lecture. Why you kill so many Iranian scientists? How many assassination happens of scientists, university professors, that it was confirmed in Israel that you killed them if you care? You say you care for the Syrian people. You are only against Bashar Assad. Okay. Bashar Assad left Syria. The Assad system and Assad family are not there anymore. Then why did you bomb Syria over 400 times in 4 days? And destruction and demolition of any infrastructures, whether academic or military, in Syria. You call this? It's interesting that Julani, who was a new leader in Syria, and Julani is from Julan originally, he didn't even mention anything that 400 times still they are talking about Iran and Iraq and this and that, and not even mention one word. At least I didn't hear. So we tell Netanyahu that if you care for Syria, those military, the Air Force, the Navy, the army in Syria, they were not personal properties of Bashar Assad. He left them. Those properties belong to Syrian people. Why did you destroy everything? So you lie that you care for Syria. You didn't. You are responsible even for October 7. Number one, to put those people under occupation and for long time in a huge prisons, under pressure and persecution and torture and deprivations and denying of their human rights. And then October 7 happened. We don't know that the details. If you say that, Netanyahu, if you say that you had no idea, about October 7th, then, at least from the Israelis' point of view, shame on you. How come you don't know about such a thing next door? You claim that with intelligence services and Mossad, you know every little thing in the entire world, and you are not aware next door in Gaza, under the observation of your cameras and your army, you didn't know what happened, then shame on you, you didn't know about that. And if you say, well, you had idea and you were planning it and you were part of it, and that meant to be that way, then even double shame that you were ready to be part of the crime and even the death of so many Israeli soldiers and civilians, 1,200 people. You were part of that. You did that. So you have an excuse to come and destroy the entire Gaza and killing or wounding over 200,000 people. If you compare it to the United States of 330 million people, it's like 33 million Americans be killed or wounded. This is what happened in Gaza. And that is shame. I heard you yesterday saying that you were talking with pride that you killed the leaders of Hamas, the leader of Hezbollah, and you destroyed everything. Enjoy your little illusion. If you use 85 bombs to kill one person and thinking that after that Muqawamah is over, no more Hezbollah, no more Hamas, no more resistance. To end the Muqawamah, the best way is to end your occupation. Because even Hezbollah and Hamas and all of other groups, they are products of your occupation. They did not exist before. They were created after your oppression and your occupation and your injustice. So if you like to have no muqawamah, no resistance, and you call all of this evil, then the real evil is occupation. Now you are occupying even more. You did not learn any lesson from history. Now you are occupying more lands in Syria. So you are going to have sooner or later the Syrian Hamas or Syrian Hezbollah, Syrian Jundullah, different names. But sooner or later the same thing is going to happen, because when do you want to learn that occupation is the cause of this problem? And that is the real issue. So Netanyahu, you should be the last person to send a lecture, to give a lecture especially to Iranians. Oh, you want to help them to be free. Well, those guys, 85 million people, they had the revolution in 1979 for freedom. And if they want to have more freedom, and if they want to have another revolution, is up to them. Don't worry about them. You just worry about freedom of people who live next to you. You care about them. But you can, because you are not friend of freedom. You are an enemy of freedom, enemy of peace, enemy of justice. In international court, you are recognized as a war criminal. Crime against humanity. Even your friend Chuck Schumer, he said that under Netanyahu, Israel became an international pariah, is hated by everyone in the world. That honorable American officer, Aaron Bushner, he set himself in fire in front of your embassy in Washington, D.C. to show his hatred for genocide that you are doing in Gaza. And his last word was, free Palestine. So what kind of freedom? No. You don't care even about Jewish people. You are selfish, you are arrogant, you are racist. A rabbi that shared your mentality said long time ago, expressed his racism when he said 1 million Arabs not worth of a Jewish fingernail. This was said by the racists that, oh, we are chosen people and the rest are like, human animals. That's your mentality. No. Please stop giving lecture to other people. You just practice what you preach. You have no respect even for yourself. Forget about other people. How you want anybody to trust you? You even don't trust yourself. You signed for a ceasefire with Lebanon. That was your signature. Did you ever, since this ceasefire announced, at least one day showing respect for this ceasefire? In the last few weeks, every day they attack this and shuhada here and shuhada there and majruhin there. You kept killing people, even as late as today. This morning, you put a list of over 60 villages and towns in south of Lebanon, and you told people not to come to this town or leave this town because although it is fire, but you did not stop the fire. You keep doing the same thing. So don't give lecture about defending human rights or defending civilization, no. It's all about genocide and apartheid and racism. If you had respect, at least for Jewish, it's 14 months. How many times the Israelis, they got on the street in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, in every town, and they told you, have a deal. Free the Israelis, free all the hostages. You have no respect even for Jews, for your own people. What about Jewish, what about Christian, and what about Muslims? You destroyed the mosque as you destroyed the churches. Last year in Christmas, the Christians, they canceled Christmas celebrations. Because you have no respect for any culture, any civilization, for any nation, including for Jewish people. We pray that one day the Holy Land and the Middle East be a place of peace, when people, Muslims, Christians, Jews, they enjoy a peaceful coexistence. A Middle East without war criminals like Netanyahu and the criminals who push for genocide and ignore international communities, and they justify the law of the jungle. Unbelievable. We are back to the age of barbarism, that one person thinks that he is above all the law. Although he is known as a criminal in his own court, in Israeli court, they said he is corrupt, he is criminal. International court of justice or criminal court, they want to arrest him and accuse him as a war criminal and a person behind the genocide. And now this guy want to give lecture about freedom and civilization to other people. Is shame. And shame those who support this mentality. I know that a lot of people, even in Israel, they hate Netanyahu and they are against him. And although many of them, unfortunately, they support his practices and his genocide, but they also should remember وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. That was just to react and to respond to what he said yesterday, lecture about al-hurriya, al-adala. Should be the last person to talk about this this concept. Allahumma